The year is 1919. The ashes of the First World War are still smoldering. From the shadows of that conflict, a new kind of intelligence agency emerges. In Britain, it is called the Government Code and Cipher School, later to be known as GCHQ. This organization is tasked with a crucial mission to monitor the communications of foreign powers. Across the Atlantic, the United States establishes the Cipher Bureau, the precursor to the National Security Agency, or NSA. The world, still reeling from the horrors of war, is entering a new era, one where information is power. These agencies, born in the aftermath of global conflict, will become the silent guardians of their nation's security. Their initial focus is on cryptography, breaking the codes and ciphers that protect diplomatic and military secrets. They are the code breakers, the invisible sentinels listening in on the whispers of nations. The work is meticulous, demanding, and often shrouded in secrecy. Their existence is a secret, their success is unknown to the public they serve, but their role is pivotal, especially as the world descends into another global conflict. The Second World War becomes a proving ground for these fledgling agencies. The ability to decipher enemy communications proves invaluable to the Allied victory. At Bletchley Park, GCHQ's wartime headquarters, brilliant minds like Alan Turing crack the Enigma code, shortening the war and saving countless lives. Similarly, the US Cipher Bureau breaks Japanese codes, providing crucial intelligence in the Pacific Theater. The Cipher Bureau, renamed the Armed Forces Security Agency in 1949, evolves into the National Security Agency in 1952. This change marks a significant expansion of its powers and scope. The NSA now monitors all forms of electronic communication, both foreign and domestic. Driven by the Cold War mentality, national security requires constant vigilance. In the UK, GCHQ undergoes a similar transformation. The organization grows in size and capability, its technological prowess increasing alongside the sophistication of global communications. The development of new technologies, such as satellites and undersea cables, creates new avenues for intelligence gathering. GCHQ and the NSA invest heavily in these technologies, seeking to maintain their edge in the ever-evolving world of electronic espionage. The Cold War becomes a time of intense secrecy and paranoia. Both sides engage in a global chess match of espionage and counter-espionage. GCHQ and the NSA play a central role in this shadow war, providing their governments with vital intelligence on the enemy's capabilities and intentions. Their successes remain largely hidden from public view, but their failures have the potential to be catastrophic. As the decades pass, the lines between foreign and domestic intelligence begin to blur. The rise of global terrorism and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction create new challenges for intelligence agencies. The Cold War may be over, but the threat to national security remains as real as ever. GCHQ and the NSA find themselves at a crossroads, their traditional role evolving to meet the demands of a rapidly changing world. In the shadows of the Cold War, legal frameworks were erected to expand the powers of GCHQ and the NSA. These laws granted sweeping authority to intelligence agencies, blurring the lines between security and overreach. The UK's Official Secrets Act of 1911 was later used to silence critics of government surveillance. The US passed FISA in 1978 to regulate foreign intelligence collection. FISA established a secret court to authorize surveillance warrants. The FISC's proceedings lacked transparency and were often criticized. The attacks of September 11, 2001 allowed intelligence agencies to consolidate power. Governments enacted sweeping legislation that expanded surveillance capabilities. The US Patriot Act granted the NSA unprecedented authority to collect data on its own citizens. In the UK, the Terrorism Act of 2000 granted similar powers to GCHQ. These laws eroded traditional safeguards against government overreach. The balance between security and liberty was shifting in favor of surveillance. While GCHQ and the NSA operate within their respective legal frameworks, their reach extends far beyond their national borders through a clandestine alliance known as the Five Eyes. This intelligence-sharing partnership, born out of the ashes of World War II, includes the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. These 5 English-speaking nations agreed to pool their resources and share intelligence, effectively creating a global surveillance network with unparalleled reach. The Five Eyes Partnership allows member countries to circumvent domestic legal restrictions on surveillance by tasking their partners to collect data on their own citizens. For example, GCHQ can collect data on US citizens and hand it over to the NSA, sidestepping US laws that would prohibit the NSA from collecting such data directly. This practice, known as swapping, creates a loophole that allows for mass surveillance without meaningful accountability. The Five Eyes network has expanded in recent years to include other countries, often referred to as third parties or Nine Eyes partners. These countries, including Denmark, France, Germany, and the Netherlands, cooperate with the Five Eyes on a case-by-case basis, sharing intelligence and participating in joint surveillance operations. The expansion of this network raises concerns about the erosion of privacy on a global scale. The existence of the Five Eyes and its expanding network of partners highlights the transnational nature of surveillance in the 21st century. National borders are becoming increasingly porous in the digital realm, making it easier for intelligence agencies to collaborate and share information. This interconnectedness raises profound questions about the future of privacy in a world where data knows no boundaries. The digital revolution, hailed as a force for democratization, has provided intelligence agencies with unprecedented surveillance tools. Smartphones, social media, and cloud computing create vast personal data ripe for exploitation. GCHQ and the NSA have embraced these tools with enthusiasm. Mass data collection is one of the most controversial aspects of modern surveillance. Programs like PRISM, revealed by Edward Snowden, collect vast data from companies like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft. This data includes emails, chat logs, search histories, and other sensitive information. GCHQ's Tempora taps into undersea cables to intercept internet traffic. The volume of data collected is staggering, beyond human capacity to sift manually. GCHQ and the NSA use AI and machine learning to analyze data, raising concerns about bias and due process. These algorithms flag potential threats, automating surveillance. The digital world has become a panopticon where everyone is under constant surveillance. This pervasive surveillance chills free speech and dissent. Knowing they are monitored, individuals may self-censor online activities. This chilling effect has profound implications for democracy and free exchange of ideas. Full-spectrum dominance sounds like dystopian fiction, but it's a real strategy for GCHQ and the NSA. It means controlling information across all domains: land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. The goal is to dominate the information war, knowing the enemy better than they know themselves. For GCHQ and the NSA, this means intercepting and analyzing all forms of electronic communication, from satellite transmissions to private phone calls and internet history, building vast databases, mapping social networks, and predicting behavior. Information is power in the 21st century, but this pursuit erodes privacy and chills dissent. The line between security and Orwellian overreach blurs, raising questions about our future. In the digital age, the front lines are often invisible, and the battles fought are silent and unseen by the public eye. This is the realm of cyber warfare, a shadowy domain where nation-states and non-state actors alike engage in espionage, sabotage, and information manipulation. GCHQ and the NSA are key players in this new theater of conflict, tasked with defending their nations against cyber attacks and conducting offensive operations against adversaries. The cyber battlefield is a complex and constantly evolving landscape. One day, the threat might come from a state-sponsored hacking group attempting to steal military secrets or disrupt critical infrastructure. The next, it might be a lone wolf hacker motivated by political ideology or personal gain. GCHQ and the NSA must be constantly vigilant, monitoring networks, identifying vulnerabilities, and developing countermeasures to stay one step ahead of their adversaries. The tools of cyber warfare are as diverse as the actors who wield them. They can range from sophisticated malware designed to infiltrate computer systems and steal data to distributed denial-of-service attacks that can cripple websites and online services. Propaganda and disinformation campaigns spread through social media and other online channels are also increasingly used as weapons in the information war. The stakes in cyber warfare are high. A successful cyber attack could cripple financial markets, disrupt power grids, or even trigger a military conflict. GCHQ and the NSA play a vital role in mitigating these threats, but their methods are often shrouded in secrecy, making it difficult to assess their effectiveness or hold them accountable for their actions. Section 3. Collateral damage when surveillance goes too far. The stated aim of mass surveillance is to keep us safe, to prevent terrorism and protect national security. But in the relentless pursuit of this goal, innocent people often get caught in the crosshairs. The collateral damage of mass surveillance is real, and its victims are not just abstract statistics, but real people whose lives have been turned upside down by unwarranted intrusion into their private lives. Take, for example, the case of an investigative journalist working on a story that could expose government wrongdoing. Their phone calls are tapped, their emails monitored, their movements tracked. The chilling effect is immediate and profound. Fearful of reprisal, they self-censor, abandoning the story and silencing a voice that could hold power to account. Or consider the plight of a political activist campaigning for social justice or environmental protection. Their online activity is flagged by surveillance algorithms, their social connections scrutinized, their every move tracked. They're labeled a potential threat, their reputation tarnished, their ability to organize and mobilize effectively undermined. These are just two examples among countless others. The victims of mass surveillance are often ordinary citizens: students, teachers, doctors, lawyers, artists, writers. People from all walks of life who pose no threat to national security yet find themselves caught in the dragnet of suspicion and surveillance. Their stories, often untold and unheard, serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of our ever-expanding surveillance state. Section 4. The slippery slope from security to control. The road to dystopia is often paved with good intentions. In the name of security, we sacrifice privacy. In the name of order, we surrender liberty. The line between a society that values freedom and one that embraces control can be disturbingly thin, and the erosion of civil liberties once underway can be difficult, if not impossible, to reverse. The technologies of surveillance once deployed rarely remain static. They evolve, they expand, they become more intrusive. What starts as targeted surveillance of suspected terrorists can quickly morph into mass surveillance of entire populations. Data collected for one purpose can be easily repurposed for another, creating a chilling effect on free speech, political dissent, and even the most private aspects of our lives. The danger of this slippery slope is that it normalizes surveillance, making it easier for governments to justify ever more intrusive measures. We become accustomed to being watched, to having our data collected, to having our lives scrutinized by unseen algorithms. The more we accept, the more we stand to lose. The question we must ask ourselves is this: at what point does the pursuit of security become so absolute that it undermines the very freedoms it seeks to protect? Are we willing to sacrifice our privacy, our liberty, our very humanity on the altar of an illusory promise of safety? The answer, if we value the principles of a free and open society, must be a resounding no. Section 1. The human cost of surveillance. The numbers flashed across the screen, each digit representing an intercepted phone call, an email scanned, a text message analyzed. The beauty of a free society lies in its capacity for dissent, for the open exchange of ideas, for the right to criticize those in power without fear of reprisal. But when the eyes and ears of the state are everywhere, a chilling effect takes hold. The siren song of security is a powerful one. But in our rush to build walls, to erect barriers, to create a world where every move is tracked and every word is monitored, we risk sacrificing the very freedoms that make life worth living. Proponents of mass surveillance paint a seductive, if unsettling, vision of the future. A world where crime is anticipated and prevented before it occurs. The dystopian alternative to the surveillance utopia is a world shrouded in fear and suspicion. Big Brother, once a chilling literary metaphor, becomes a tangible reality. We stand at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in human history. The digital revolution, with its promise of progress and interconnectedness, has also unleashed forces that threaten the very foundations of a free and open society. We have journeyed through the shadowy corridors of intelligence gathering, exploring the origins, justifications, and far-reaching implications of mass surveillance. The balance between security and freedom, once a cornerstone of democratic societies, teeters precariously. We cannot afford to be passive observers in this debate. The erosion of privacy, once underway, is difficult to reverse.